Welcome back, legends. I hope you're all fantastic. On today's installment of 5-Minute Licks, we're going to take a look at a standard 3-string minor arpeggio that I think everyone should know how to play, whether you're an experienced sweep picker or you've never done sweep picking before. And then we're going to bend it and twist it a little bit so that it sounds like something Jason Becker might have played on, say, his Perpetual Burn album. This is a really fun, non-diatonic way of playing sweep arpeggios. It sounds like this. Now, if you've got some experience playing sweep arpeggios, you can probably just look at that and see exactly what I'm doing. If you've never done any sweep picking before, or you've never applied sweep or economy picking to arpeggios, I'll show you the core exercise that you want to get down, and it is a 3-string A minor sweep shape around fret 8 and 12. So we have fret 10 on the B string. That's our root note A. And what we're going to do is basically surround that by playing a note on the G string. We're going to play fret 9, that is the note E, which is the perfect 5th interval. And we're going to play fret 8 and fret 12 on the high E. So you can start like this. Start on the G string, fret 9, and use one continuous downstroke to play the notes E, A, and C. Something like this. And notice I'm using my first finger for the notes on the G and the E string. One thing that I see a lot of people who are just starting out playing sweep arpeggios do is they will voice it like a chord, which I don't think is necessarily wrong. I just think this fingering lets you mute a little bit better and it gets you away from that idea of playing a chord style shape. So I would recommend starting with that fingering. Okay, we've got a choice to make here. We can sweep on the way back, or we can simply kind of play legato on the way back. I guess the kind of traditional way to play this lick would be to hammer onto fret 12 and then, actually not to hammer onto fret 12, to play fret 12 with an upstroke and then to pull off back to fret 8 and continue that upstroke back onto the root note on fret 10 of the B, this kind of thing. That will kind of be like the pure sweep way of doing it. An alternative is to just do the downward sweep part of it, to hammer onto fret 12, to pull off back to fret 8, and then to do a hammer on from nowhere onto fret 10 on the B string, this kind of thing. Personally, I find that a lot easier to play now that I've practiced it a little bit. The hammer on from nowhere might throw you, and it is a little bit harder to control any unwanted noise. You have to be really accurate with it. So I'll give you an example of what these two sound like side by side. We'll start with the pure sweep picking, and then we'll do the kind of sweep legato hybrid. For me, the sweep legato version actually sounds a lot smoother and cleaner, which is why I tend to use it. One other little tip, if you are going to sweep all of this on the way down and the way back, make sure that you're always playing a downstroke on the G string and you're always playing an upstroke on the high E string. Those places where we change direction, we want to change our stroke as well. I think that's probably the biggest struggle I see people have when they are learning sweep picking for the first time. So you can just kind of go through, and I call it spotting. You could just do so that your hand is really used to the strokes it should be doing in that particular arpeggio shape. Okay, so that is the core exercise. Then all we do is move it up and down by 4 frets. And we're going to get, in that case, we get F minor, A minor, and C sharp minor. And again, you can just spot by aiming with your first finger. So if you aim for fret 5, fret 9, and fret 13 on the G string, that's going to give you your shape. And like I said earlier, this kind of reminds me of something you would hear Jason Becker do. It has this really interesting non-diatonic tonality to it. It's something that, to my ears anyway, you might hear a piano player or a composer from like the Impressionist era play. There's these kind of subtle implications of like maybe an augmented or a whole tone tonality or a diminished tonality in there. Don't worry too much about that. Just try to play it real fast and, you know, think of the great Jason Becker. course, you could start that on any of those 3 arpeggios you like. I think what I played earlier, I started on the high note. There's no reason why you can't start on the low note and play this. And like all of these licks, try to make it your own, combine it with some other things. You know, if you're comfortable doing, say, 5-string sweeps, you could extend this into a 5-string pattern. You could use other 3-string arpeggio voicings as well. It kind of gives you a good starting point. And of course, you could do, I guess, kind of the converse of this and use major arpeggios and move them up and down by 3 frets or a minor third, because here we're taking minor arpeggios, moving them up and down by a major third. So you could do major arpeggios and move them by a minor third. That would be pretty fun as well. If you've tried either of those approaches, let me know in the comments. If you have any other questions, also let me know in the comments. If you want to support the channel, there are links to my Patreon and the music that I make. Otherwise, enjoy these licks. Have a great day. I'll see you all real soon.